Hi there, my name is Oleg, and you are watching AI Guide to the Galaxy. Today is a very special episode. We are at the bleeding edge of what's possible in the AI ecosystem, and in our virtual studio is Djordje Lukic, an engineer at Docker, and we're gonna talk about CAgent, a project recently open sourced by Docker, and it's an agent builder and a runtime open source thingy. Djordje, how are you doing today?
Hi, I'm doing great, and thanks for having me, Oleg. Super
Absolutely,
excited.
my pleasure. Uh, if I'm correct, you were one of the first authors of CAgent, and that was your prototype that then took shape and became this open source project that we released just a few weeks ago, as of airing of this episode. Uh, can you quickly maybe summarize CAgent for our viewers?
I can, yeah, I guess I could try. So, CAgent kind of started, as you said. I made it one day during my lunch break, and the idea was I kind of used a bunch of libraries for creating agents, and they were all like in Python, and you needed to code a little bit, but at the end everything was just like declarative. You declare like your system prompts, the tools you want to use, and then you had an agent or a team of agents. So basically, my idea was I want to be able to make agents that do things for me, and I want to be able to just declare them how they should work, and then have something that runs. So that's what I made, and of course I made it in Golang because that's the language I use every day. And yeah,
Right. So it's CAgent is the runtime platform sort of for running agents that you can specify in a declarative way.
exactly. Yeah. So you can either create like declare one agent that does something with its tools, or a team of agents that can like collaborate and orchestrate between each other, and each can have like their own little um, tasks that they can do and their tools that they can use.
Right. And it takes a form of a command line application.
It's a common language application. There's a TUI. I'm not still great at writing TUIs, but we have something that can at least show you what is going on. So yeah, it's a command line interface. Yeah.
Okay. Can you show me the maybe simplest use of CAgent?
Well, yeah, of course. Let me just see. You define an agent. It's a YAML, for better or worse. It works for me still, so we'll keep YAML for now. The first thing you have to do is it's better to use a version. We are kind of versioning. We're moving fast and breaking things, but we try to not break everything and all the time. So we have like this versioned type of YAML file. So the latest one today is the version 2. And so now, kind of like in Compose, you instead of services, you have agents. You always have to have one that's named root, and then you can give it an instruction. So instruction, I can tell it, do talk like a pirate, for example. And then an agent also needs a model. So I'm going to use Docker model runner here. And so you can say DMR and then AI, and then I have locally a Qwen3 model. This is the quick way of defining model, but you can also say here have like a models and give it a name like Qwen, and then a provider, which here would be like DMR, and then the model would be AI Qwen3. But I prefer these days the easy and quick way to just say which one you want. So now that you have this, you can run CAgent run of my model and say hello. So the Qwen3 is a thinking model. So what you see here is like the thinking tokens, and then it responds like, hey, it responds in a pirate way.
Right. Okay. So very, very awesome. Quick demo. Let me recap that. Right. So you have your binary CAgent. You have your CAgent application command line utility that will be used to running for running our agents. and you created the YAML file, which is the artifact for defining agents that we use for CAgent. And it's a single file that describes the nature of the agent and the model that is need to be used for this particular, well, sort of chat
Agent.
interaction, right?
Yes.
And then when you run that artifact with CAgent, you are dropped into this command line loop where you can well talk to an LLM. Right?
Exactly.
This is awesome. So the first thing, right? I like very much that it's a single artifact sort of deployment. And do I need any additional components for the agent, or is the YAML file sort of the everything that I need, and I can just grow it into like a larger system of agents if I...
Yeah, so that's a great question, and the answer is like it depends. So this is what I've shown here is a simple agent, but it doesn't have any tools, for example. Now CAgent has some like built-in tools, for example, the shell tool, the file system tool, so that the agent can like have access to your file system. But you can also plug in MCP servers. So when you plug in an MCP server, everything kind of becomes more complicated because where does your MCP server live? Is it like a UVX something, or maybe you're using the MCP gateway from Docker. So in that case, it is the YAML, but then you need a way to tell people like, oh, you also need this thing from the internet for the MCP server. That's something we are kind of trying still to fix, so that you don't need to, so that you can like package everything inside something, maybe a Docker image, so that that everything can run in containers. But for now, it's mostly you're on your own if you try to use MCP servers.
Right. Okay. So that's a separate step, and of course, for making agentic workloads and to giving your AI some way to interact with the world, you do need to provide tools in a certain way, which I think the ecosystem sort of standardizing itself on model context protocol as the solution for that. But that is a separate thing. MCP servers, I think, mostly would be regarded by anyone as like separate processes. And maybe there is some inter-process communication happening, whether it's standard input-output or over the wire. But my agent is just a single file, which I like very much. If normally I would create agents in Python or in any other like framework, like Java or something, I would need to have like a bunch of files supporting. I would need to have a whole project, right? I would need to have my dependencies. I would need to bring my framework in. I might have more flexibility, but I have to pay for that by my agent being the code, not just the instructions. Okay, so we can do, this is a simple agent, right? And we, in the previous communications with folks on this channel, we talked about how agents are naturally three things. This is the, four things. The model, that is the brain that we are specifying here, the instructions, the tools, and sort of the chat loop. And the chat loop is the CAgent application itself, right? Yeah. The model here, you are specifying you are depending on Docker model runner, which is very nice because you can run this locally. This will require you to have Docker desktop or Docker CE environment with Docker model runner enabled, right? This is not a part of the CAgent itself.
No, it's an external dependency if you used DMR.
Right. Okay. So the same way as I imagine I can specify dependency on the OpenAI model or on Gemini or something, is just when we specify a model in CAgent, this is always like an API call.
Yes, exactly. Yeah.
Is it? Okay.
So I could say, for example, OpenAI and GPT-5, and so now my agent would use GPT-5 to just talk like a pirate.
Right. Okay, and that's cool. So that's one integration that you need. You need the integration with the things. The other integration that you mentioned are the bringing in the MCP tools. how do I do that for the agent? And assuming the simplicity of the setup, let's say I'm using Docker Desktop with the MCP Toolkit, and I want to bring some tools from that solution into my agent.
Okay, so yeah, so for example, let's start with this one. I'm just gonna remove the instruction, give it like a different instruction. So you help with libraries documentation, and then I can in the way you add a tool or an MCP server in CAgent is by defining what we call a toolset. A toolset has a type. So in this case, I want it to be a type of MCP. And then there is one, if I open here my Docker desktop, there is one that I use a lot, and it's called, no, it's here, I'm sorry. There's the context7 MCP server that knows how to read documentation of different coding libraries. So the way you do it is simply by saying reference is Docker context7. Let me just check if that's right. Yeah, so it's Docker and colon context sets. Everything is changing.
Have a file. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this is telling CAgent, I want this agent to have tools from this MCP server, which you'll find in the Docker MCP Toolkit and called Docker context7. And we can maybe try to run it. I can say, how do I write the server in Golang with echo?
Right. So now we are connecting to the OpenAI, actual OpenAI endpoint. And okay, it found that we have the tools, and we are running with the tool confirmation.
Exactly. Yeah. So it's asking for we implemented kind of the tool confirmations because we don't want you to have an agent remove all of your files, for example. So I'm gonna say yes. So we called it, and then I think it's gonna call. It's gonna make a second call, and then at the end it's going to explain to me how to write server in Golang with echo.
Right. Okay. Yeah. That makes sense. So the MCP server connects, and then it goes. Does it? I noticed that you didn't enable the context7 server in your MCP toolkit, but you specified it here. So does it connect to Docker Desktop MCP Toolkit, or does it go like a different route somehow?
It's so when you set it like this, it will start the command, which is the Docker MCP gateway run with -- servers, and it's going to say, okay, I need the context7 server. So it's not connecting to this one, but it's running its own gateway and giving it the service it needs.
Right. That's an interesting question. And I'm sure many users are not 100% clear on the what happens when you run MCP gateway run. But for simplicity, I assume that we're connecting to the same toolkit implementation and just filter servers on top of the enabled catalog.
Exactly. And so if you have, like, for example, I have my GitHub official MCP server that's enabled and also configured. So it's going to use this one. So the authentication will work because I authenticated once in Docker Desktop.
Right. So the configuration stays from Docker Desktop to MCP Toolkit, but like it sort of creates a view for which servers are enabled.
Exactly. Yeah.
Perfect. Awesome. What other types of MCP servers do we support? Or what other types of toolset, shall I say, do we support in CAgent?
So in CAgent, like I said, we have we have built-in toolsets. So it would be, we have, for example, a to-do one, and then we have like I said, the file system, or even this one is kind of funny. It's the thinking one. It's people from Anthropic wrote something like a paper about this, where if you give it a certain tool that's like a whiteboard for the LLM, then it does its job better sometimes. So if you're using like a bad LLM or a small LLM that doesn't have any thinking, you can add it. You can give it the thinking tool, and it might do its work better. The to do one is really great for like tasks that need multiple steps. So if you add the to do, it will instruct the LLM like, okay, before doing anything, create a to do list and then do them one by one. And then of course, like we handle the 3 different MCP types, transport types, like the STDIO, the server-sent events, and also the HTTP streaming. We have the project is open source, so if you go to GitHub/Docker CAgent, you can see all the configuration types for MCPs. But it's
Awesome. So here's my question about this. MCP is a very powerful construct. You can plug your servers. You can create sort of your toolkits or catalogs for the toolkit. You can select. You can filter tools that are picked from individual MCP servers there, right? Why did we choose to create, for example, the to-do MCP type, to-do toolset and file system toolset natively, so to speak, in CAgent, instead of just saying like, if you would like a to-do like task list thing, there is an MCP server for that, and you can just connect it by using this standard protocol. Is there a preference? Why should I include native tools like this?
honestly no. If you have some other MCP server that does a to do like thing, you should use it. I just wanted to have a set of tools that I can quickly just set up and that they just work, because it's kind of MCP servers are nice, but you need to find which one works for you. And I basically made a couple of them for me that work really well. And those are also like, for example, the to do and the think one. It's a general purpose and tool set. It's not like context 7, which is like, okay, this is for the library documentation. This is something that can be useful for everything anywhere, pretty much. And so if you need it, you can just like add one line in your agent file and you're good to go. You don't need to think where is the MCP server? How do I configure it? How do I? So yeah.
Of course, the task list and the thinking powers are as generic as general using AI intelligence for replacing human-like tasks. This is awesome. Okay, so I can have this agent, I can have this YAML, I can put this YAML somewhere in the internet, and anyone with the agent can just curl it and run the agent themselves. So it's also like in a nice way, in a very developer-friendly way, I feel the distribution problem with the agents, because, well, it's just a single file. It's trivial. I can also do, if I wish, some sort of templates on top of that. So because it's just text. So I like that aspect, right? It's very configurable. It's a super simple deployment. By the way, do we have a Docker image with CAgent that I can use if I just want to run it as a Docker image?
Not yet, but we have right now. My manager opened a PR that brought back like the whole CI, so that we can build a Docker image that has CAgent in it. So it will be, by the time this video goes out, we will have an image with CAgent inside. Yeah.
Yeah, that is awesome. I have some experiments to run because I had some agents and some demos built with open source CLI agents before. I think it would be excellent to see what I can build and replace with CAgent. And I like the terminal UI as well. Very neat, very colorful, perfect. So, okay, so now we have this. I have this one agent. You mentioned that CAgent is good for creating systems of agents. How do I go about that? Do I just add more agents to this file? How do I trigger sort of the transfer between the agents?
Yes. So for now these days in CAgent, so yeah, it's agents, so you can of course add more. So let me like I could just like here say I want a second one with an instruction, maybe this one talk like a pirate. Now when you yeah, so when you have multiple agents, you need to give it a description also. I'll explain it in a bit, but like you give it a description, and this is like an agent that talks like a pirate. And let's say this one is Anthropic, or no, I want DMR because
Yes, I was thinking about let's pick the
yeah, no,
most expensive model
yeah.
people cost nowadays, and
let's not do that right now. So I have my two agents now. I need you need to tell which agents has its own subagents. So here you'll say subagents, and then this one will have the second one. So with this, hopefully, I should be able to. Let me just try and see if this works. How can I say that?
write a poem about Docker.
About Docker in pirate speak, I guess.
Hopefully, it's going to be very polite.
Oh, okay. Well, I guess let's try again. Write a poem about Docker in. No such host. Okay, well, never mind.
Make it Docker model run as well. But this is a simple one.
Yeah.
Unreliable internet or unreliable AI services. Yeah, goodness me. Is it the case for running your AI locally? It's not scripted. Not scripted.
Let's go about Docker in pirate speak. Let's see if this works.
Okay, so it works. I think. What do we expect?
And then you can see like the root agent transferred the task to the second, and it gave it a task, write a poem about Docker using pirate terminology and slang. Right. And then it's thinking, and now,
it will. Quens are a little bit chatty, especially on the thinking front. So I would expect this to go a little bit longer, and hopefully it will keep the lyrics very, very internet friendly. We're a family friendly show here. All right, so I have a question here. So there are two agents, there are interaction between those. Is it using any particular protocol for agent to agent communication? Is it an sort of a tool call? I know some frameworks for agentic applications just represent transfer of control by making like a tool call. Is it how do we implement that?
Yeah, so in CAgent, the transferring of the tasks is implemented as a tool call. So a sub agent is a tool call, and then the one calling it gets the last answer of the agent.
Right. There is no agent discovery, no nothing. We have to create the graph of agents manually. Can I have cycles there?
Can you have?
Can I have cycles in my
you could
graph?
You could, yeah, you can. I never tried it. Someone should try it, but I didn't try it.
Awesome. My toolkit burning machine is going to be ready in no time. Neat. So it is simple as well in this choice. So it's a very practical choice. I can create like a systems of agents. I can give them separate tool sets. I can give them separate purpose. Can I also orchestrate them by being in multiple YAML files? Sort of like when I run compose, I can give several different files with several sets of services, and it will sort of pre-process everything into like a giant compose file. Or is it a single file distribution thing?
It's a single file for now, but we have someone opened an issue who wants to be able exactly to split. So it's something that we should will implement soon for sure. Yes.
Okay. Very, very, very cool. Do you know what are some of the examples of agents, of system of agents that run using CAgent that are sort of that you find useful?
Let's see. We have a lot of examples. We also have like CAgent. We are now using CAgent to develop kind of vibe code from time to time. CAgent itself. So we have in the root directory of the repository, we created like a big instructions for our agent that has access to the shell to do and the context 7 that I showed, and it knows about what the project is, how to run it, and also every time you ask it to implement something, it will make sure that linting is okay, that it builds and that it has tests and that the tests pass. So it's a nice way to just define, okay, this is everything I want you to do when you when you code in this project. I have another one that I made for me that I run. We have a daily stand up at like 3 p.m. And I run it like at 2:45, and it goes over to GitHub and looks at everything I did like the day before and that day, and then it just tells me, hey, here's what you did, here's what you should say. So at least I have like a nice list of things I can say during my stand up.
A daily stand up at 3 p.m. That's how European of you. No, this is awesome. I like this very much, and personally, I very often feel like a lot of hype is going into those like AGI like AI usages, right? Where we try to build systems that will do a lot and be super generic. And I like that here we have a solution that is sort of end user oriented, right? If you need a simple workflow orchestrated, like automated with some AI, you can just quickly maybe write a couple of system prompts and connect some models, connect some tools, and have something useful for yourself. It's unlikely that it's going to be applicable or directly useful to somebody else, but for you, you can build automated things pretty simple. So here you are showing the developer one.
Yeah.
And it's very declarative. And how do you think it's better in your experience? Have you compared it with any sort of CLI based coding agents? So I don't know. I've used Claude, I've used Gemini, I've used Code a little bit. There are a bunch of others that I'm sure I haven't tried yet. Do you think this is better because it's personal, or how? Like, what's your take on that?
So yeah, my take is exactly that. So this is like CAgent on its own, it's nothing. It's just like a runner, and then you create your agent, and it's as good as you can make it. And what I like here is that everything that my agent does is here. It won't do anything else. It will do less. It will do more. And I can like tweak it all the time, every day, and I know that I know exactly what is going on and why he's doing something or not. So yeah, this like it's you make it your own. Is really the thing that I really like in here.
Nice. Yeah, I can definitely emphasize with that. Very often, the stock solutions will have system prompts that are either too complex or maybe too long. Sometimes, if you want to use local models specifically, you have to mind the context, because, well, I don't think even this much instructions runs with local models nicely. They tend to get confused at longer inputs. But the personal touch, yeah, you can edit this, you can run it. Again, there is no need for additional files. You just one artifact that you can sort of distribute within the team. That is awesome. Can people extend CAgent in any ways? What are the architectural sort of main architectural ideas for CAgent?
So, I mean, extending, at least you can write your MCP server so that you can add to your agent. Extending, it's open source. You can open a PR, and we most certainly merge it if it's something that is useful. We didn't yet think about like ways where are the things where we can where would be useful to add your bits of code or like providers for something. But I think this is something that people will ask at some point, and that something that can be useful. Like for example, I'm thinking about coding agents. One thing that can be useful is like running an LSP server so that when the agent edits a file, then the LSP gives like back the diagnostics or something like that. And I don't think I want to have that directly in CAgent. Maybe it's something like outside that you call in kind of like an interceptor for the tools. We are starting to think about these things, but we don't have anything yet.
Awesome. Well, and to sort of finish this discussion, I know, sounds a little bit scripted, but I know that Docker is very keen on developer experience. We have very long history of being a command line tool where you can accomplish everything by running various commands. CAgent, of course, has the run command that you showed me. Does the CAgent utility also provide other things? Can I package my agents? Can I get other people's agents easily? What else can you do besides just running these YAML files?
Yeah, so you can, of course, because we are Docker, you can push and pull agents that other made. It's a simple implementation for now that kind of works where it takes the YAML file and then bundles that in an OCI artifact and then pushes it to Docker Hub, and then other people can run it. Maybe I can show, like if I'm so I can say CAgent push and then Docker Hub because I didn't use it for a long time. Let's see. I guess it's this, and then okay, my account on Docker is this weird one, and then so this takes my YAML file, bundles it up, and then it pushed it to my Docker Hub account. So now, for example, I can give this to you, and you can say CAgent run of this image reference, and you'll be able to see the same thing, play with the same agent as me.
It will be sort of read-only for me because it's OCI artifact. I don't get the YAML easily, so I cannot, I might get the YAML from the artifact, but there is no direct way to edit other people's agents.
If I now pull my agent, it saves
the actual YAML file.
The agent in the actual YAML file. So yeah, you can now take it, run it, edit it, and push it again if you want. Yes.
Right. Can CAgent help me create new agents, or is it always manual YAML file editing?
It's definitely not always manual because it will be. We have the CAgent. We have a new command where CAgent actually uses an agent to create an agent. So it asks you like, okay, what should your agent do? And I can say, for example, I want a personal weight loss trainer, for example. And so, yeah, we have this is a special agent that lives inside CAgent that knows how to write the YAML file, and takes in like your prompt and then creates an agent for you. And so, let's see. Okay, I'm going.
Right. So I don't need to go to ChatGPT to ask, like, give me a prompt for an agent that would do this, but there is an automated CLI command for that. That's
exactly.
awesome.
Yeah. And so, for example, here, since it's a personal weight loss trainer, it gave it for example, the memory toolset so that your trainer knows about you and keeps like a history of what you were doing and what you want to do. So, yeah.
Right. What is the shared flag on the to-do toolset?
Yeah, this is so it added it. It here it doesn't make sense because there's only one agent. But if you have a multiple agents in your file, they can all share the same to-do list. So, for example, you can have one orchestrator that creates all the to-dos and then sends tasks to its sub-agents saying, okay, finish the to-do 1, 2, 3, and to the other finish the to-do 4, 5, 6. So it's kind of, yeah, their Trello board, for example, in
That
a
is
way.
awesome. That is awesome. Well, I think this is a very good introduction to CAgent. How do people get CAgent if there's no Docker image yet? Is it a clone from GitHub and build yourself?
It's you can go to github.com Docker CAgent, and we have releases. So we are building for Linux, Windows, and Mac OS. So you can download the binary today.
Sweet. Don't forget to start the repository, just for the vanity of it. If you're watching this, right, and then go build your armies and fleets of agents with the agent. Give it a try. Declarative style of agent creation is pretty sweet. Tell us what are your best agents, and if you have any questions, please raise issues or on the repository, or welcome to the Docker Slack community, and we hang out there. You can come ask Djordje about anything CAgent related, or probably Golang related as well. Thank you so much. This was very cool. I learned a couple of things. I can't wait to experiment with CAgent for small demo applications that I have already. I feel it could be very, very good. Thank you.
Thank you, Oleg.
Right. We'll see you next time. I don't know when it will be, but we are definitely gonna have another episode coming. So stay tuned. And if you have any ideas of who we should invite as guests or which topics to cover, write them in the comments under the video.